Melania and Me. Book review, part one. All I can say on this one, y'all, is Ivanka, Ivanka. Oh man, Stephanie did a good job putting this book together. It's actually like if Melania was to come out with a book, she stole a lot of her thunder because she covered a lot of really good details of what's going on in the White House, the inner workings of it. Because you don't hear a lot about Melania and what she's doing, where she goes, how she thinks. But if you want to know, you always ask the best friend. So Stephanie is that best friend, or at least one of them, that broke it down. She did a good job. There's a lot of stuff that she went over with Ivanka. But a little bit of a history on Stephanie. So Stephanie is Jewish. She's not Democrat or Republican, which is something that I thought was interesting. She is not Democrat or Republican. She's in the middle. So you have that. Her grandparents were Holocaust survivors, and they would tell her the stories of during the Holocaust and what happened. You know what they went through. Her grandfather had seven sisters. All of them died to the Holocaust in those concentration camps. Also, her grandmother as well, a Holocaust survivor. So get right into it. Just basic stuff like where they have their conversation. She would ask Melanie about the different things that's going on with her and Trump. She immediately going to, "I know who I married." One of the things that was nice is that dress that Melanie wore when her and Trump was going down that escalator when he announced his presidency. He had bought that dress for actually 4 years prior, and they were just saving that dress for a really special occasion. And obviously that was it. So he said, "Put that on." So just to show you how things they be planning this stuff out. That was cool. She said that Melanie and Melania, I keep calling her Melanie, Melania and Ivanka were never close. Never close. So they had like a Cold War. And he went over with Trump, him firing and hiring people right on the spot. There was this one incident in the book where she said that Trump had fired this one guy who was involved in the inauguration because he didn't like him. I forget the guy's name in the book. It was a lot. There's a lot of characters in this. I forget that guy's name. But anyway, he fired the guy. Wasn't a big part of it, but he fired her. And then immediately saw another guy delivering, catering foods, and said hire this guy. So it was just stuff like that would happen all the time. She actually even went over the those old photos with Melania when it came out. 20-year photos that came out. She broke it down, but she said that what she did was to kind of reflect it. As everybody knows, it's not a secret to news. She used it's an old Max cover with the French First Lady, Carla Bruni Zarkowski. There we go. Whew, I said that correctly. But the French First Lady back in '96, that Max cover, she did a cover shoot with no shirt on. So she used that as a defense for Melania, like, hey, she did it. Now she 20 years ago. What are you gonna do? Something else. All of the Trump kids and Trump are huge Kennedy fans. That the whole Camelot thing, they own the Camelot thing hard. I didn't know that all of Donald Trump kids have a Kennedy child's name. That's what you think. Like all of their names is all Kennedy. It may be some of their names are maybe some of the less popular Kennedy kids, but they all have Kennedy kid names. That's something. One of the things that was funny was the operation to block Ivanka. Now, during this book, during the during Trump's run for the White House, his during the it was a lot of stuff during the run when he first got elected. There was a lot of back and forth between Ivanka and Melania and Stephanie. It was one thing where Trump, when he was getting inaugurated, he had his hand on the Bible and all of that, and Ivanka wanted to be in that bad, like really bad, and she wanted to be in it so bad that she didn't care if Melania was in it or not. So she was trying to almost have the camera angled so that she could be in it, and and Melania not. So anyway, Melania had to strategize, had to work it out with the cameras, the angles, to try to figure out with the photographers, and if you're standing on the stage this way, and they had to set up the stage so that if you notice, if you look back, that Melania actually blocks out Ivanka completely. Like she's standing directly behind her, and that was strategically done because, again, Ivanka and Melania don't get along. The and then she actually covered even the stuff with the naked pictures, the escort rumors, Charlie Rove stuff with the naked pictures. She just said that Charlie, that he had put the stuff out there. She was very upset with him. Felt like they were trying to bash her. But there was a lot of underhanded stuff that Melania said that was happening to her that she feel like that was purposely done. Who was the corporate behind it? She feel like that Ivanka was behind a lot of the stuff with her. So they really had a cold war. Like anything that went wrong, she pretty much just assumed Ivanka was behind it in some kind of way. Based on the stuff that I'm seeing in this book, it just kept coming up. And I'm assuming if it was like that, it's continuing on. So actually, if you really look at it, the stuff and this is just part one. I'll get into the other stuff in part two. But this one here, if you really pay attention to it, by Stephanie being such an insider and being the best friend of the first lady who you never hear about, and it's a lot of stuff that she giving up about Trump too. The kids, oh my God, the stuff with Eric and and um and the other son. I don't know why his name escaped me. Like I said, I'm just throwing it out there. What was the other sons? All right, I'm thinking. I don't know why it escaped me, but of course the little kid. Oh, and then the time when when she was on stage when Trump was getting inaugurated, and when Trump looked at her, and then she smiled, and then she turned back, and then she had that frown on her face, and everybody's like, what was that? That was crazy. But what it was that Stephanie said that Melania said that Barron had kicked her, and it hurt. So that's why she looked like that. And then Stephanie was like, well, why in the world don't you just clear it up? Just say that that's what happened. And Melania said, I don't care. I don't care what those people think. Like, Melania really don't care what people think of her, what the American people think of her. She don't care. She's like, I don't even care what they feel. I'm not going to clear nothing up. Well, I said, wow, that just show you how much he really don't care what people think. Like, I don't know. It just shows that she don't even care to even clear nothing up. That's, that was it was kind of telling. But like I said, I don't want to. Oh, that's right. I don't want to give up the book. I do book reviews with no spoiler. So I'm telling y'all, but I don't want to get super details be, because I want you to read the book and see it for yourself. Let me see what else I got here real quick. Make sure. Oh, there was a time when Melania, it was different things when Melania was trying to get Ivanka off of certain things. Like when she left her, she sent Stephanie to send her the itinerary, and she left out the Arlington Cemetery schedule. She left that out because she didn't want her there. She didn't want the kids there and all that. And Stephanie said that all she did, she sent her a revised version, but she just left out the Arlington Cemetery thing. But it was a huge schedule. And she said that Ivanka immediately called her back and said, hey, why am I not on the Arlington schedule? Did they cancel the Arlington Cemetery schedule? So she said that Ivanka just doesn't miss nothing. Like Ivanka is sharp. She said she don't miss nothing. She's on it. She's sharp. That she just kept mentioning that with the different things. And definitely with, I'll get into more of that in two, but with the Ralph Lauren, sales going up and the stock going up because because all the women was wearing Ralph Lauren. But yep, so I just want to put that out there. Again, this is part one, Melania and me, and I'll go over two later. All right, thanks y'all. Like and follow.